You're listening to Fathers Handling Business, where fatherhood meets real talk and real solutions. Here are your hosts, Cali and Donté, ready to dive deep into the art and science of parenting. Let's get started and empower the dad in you.
Dads don't always say I love you out loud. His love was in the quiet things, the steady hands that fixed what was broken, the long hours spent so you never had to go without. It was in the warnings disguised as lectures, the sacrifices he never spoke of, the way he always let you have the last bite. Every lesson he taught, every boundary he set, was not to hold you back, but to push you forward, to places he never had the chance to go. He wanted you to dream bigger, to be braver, to take the risks he never could. And as you grow, you start to see it, the weight he carried so you wouldn't have to, the dreams he set aside so yours could shine. He only wants one thing, for you to stand taller, run further, and live a life he only ever dreamed of. Thank you, Dad, for everything.
Yeah.
Yo,
Yeah.
I can't even front, man. When I saw that for the first time, I start getting choked up. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. That's how I feel. Like, yeah. I mean, shoot, I have to send that to my kids immediately. Let them know. Hey, we just want to see.
It's in the quiet things that we do to show our kids that we love them.
Yeah.
That one is.
Yeah.
That one hit hard.
Yeah. I think it goes to show as well, like, as far as the older generation, you know what I'm saying? The generation that was before us, like, my grandfather was a lot in my life because I didn't know my dad, but so my grandfather used to come out and stay with us, right? Once we moved out here to California, and I used to get those lectures, bro.
Man,
I used to get those lectures. Like, I remember coming out the shower one time,
he's just waiting on you.
and he busted in there like I was dripping wet. And by the time he got finished with his lecture, I was dry with no towel. I'm just standing there, butt booty naked, and he's teaching me about class, and I'm like, bro, what does this have to do with anything? And why can't I just? Why'd you meet me when I got out the shower? Like, in my most vulnerable moment, you just gonna bust in and just start giving me this lecture, man. He used to give me the longest lectures.
He was like, no hiding today.
No hiding today.
I got something to say.
I got something to say. Yeah, man. He was on my head tough as a kid. But I get it. I try not to over lecture my kids. You know what I'm saying? But sometimes it's some stuff you gotta say.
I'm guilty of that.
Yeah, and I get it now. Like, I get where he's coming from because he was just trying to impart so much knowledge into me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it's like he has such a plethora of knowledge, for lack of better words. You know what I'm saying? He lived so long and seen so many things, and he's trying to condense all of that into an hour lecture. You know what I'm saying? And
Absolutely.
for me, it feels like it's 3 days long. But for him, he's like, yo, I'm trying to get you all of this knowledge, you know what I'm saying, that you need to help you in your life.
Right.
You know, but as a 15-year-old, I'm like, what are you talking about, bro?
No, my kids tell me all the time, like, they'll be like, all right, Dad, like, can you get to the point? Or like, can you wrap it? I ain't got that gavel out. Can't wrap it up.
Hey, wrap it up, B. Wrap it up.
Yeah, no, they definitely tell me, like, man, you over explain.
Mm-hmm.
There's a reason why.
Yeah.
There's a reason why.
Yeah, because you got to know all the ins and outs of it. You got to know the reason why I'm telling you this. I'm not telling you this just because, just because.
Right.
I'm telling you it because of a reason, because of another reason, because of another reason. It's a domino effect. You know what I'm saying? And the more I learned about my grandfather's life, like he was a police chief, he was an electrician, he was a bus
nice.
driver, he was a city councilman. Like he did a gang of different things. You know what I'm saying?
And through all those things that he did, he has so many different lived experiences in which he
Exactly.
was trying to give to you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And while raising 9 kids
Oh,
with
my
one
goodness.
bathroom. And you know what I'm saying?
Oh, man.
You know what I'm saying? So, like, and he telling me about the diapers. They didn't have no disposable diapers back then.
Oh,
They had
yeah,
to
you
they had
gotta
to wash
wash
them
them.
out in the bucket and
Yeah.
all that. I'm like,
Oh.
yo. So from that, he had a lot of lived experience.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And as we grow and get older, we have a lot of lived experience. You know what I'm saying? And so, but I get it, because one thing stacks on another.
Right.
One experience stacks on another, and it prepares you for another experience. And you never know where your life is going to take you. My grandfather did all those different things. Like, shoot, I've been a computer programmer, you know what I'm saying? A rapper, a business owner. I've been overseas fighting the war in Iraq. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've done a bunch of different random things, you know what I'm saying, if you just put it together. But
And you have all those lived
I
experiences
have all those
that
lived
you can share
experiences.
with your children. So
Exactly.
yeah, like, our children are not going to fully grasp and understand what we're trying to explain to them in the moment. Just like us, right?
Right.
Like in the moment, we were like, okay, like I remember my stepdad sitting me down. So my mom was a disciplinarian physically,
Right.
right? But my stepdad, he would sit you down and we would have these 2-hour Bible conversations.
Yes, sir.
You know what I'm saying? Like sit us down, have these long lectures, and to the point where I'm just like, "Yo, can I just get the belt? Like, can you call mom in here so I can just get the belt?
Let me
I
just
know
get
it'll
this
be
belt and get it
real
over
quick.
with.
It'll
Nah,
be over real quick. But now, as an adult,
do the same thing.
as a father,
Yeah.
I appreciate
Right.
my stepdad
Right.
and the conversations that he had with my brother and I. I miss them. Like I miss the conversations.
Yeah, of course.
I miss those. So it's and even my dad. So my dad, my stepdad passed away, but I still have my dad, and he would have these long. His stories were not long, actually. His stories were short and to the point, but they were very often. And
Gotcha.
so like those kind of stuck with me because I didn't get lost in the long lecture per se. And maybe I need to refine my speeches to my kids so I can hit them with the one hitter quitters, and then it just sticks with them.
Right.
But now, like when I talk to my kids, like they're just like they'll start finishing my sentences because like
Hey, well,
Dad,
that's
you told us
good.
this already.
You know what I'm saying? That's good because that means that it's ingrained in them. And I can tell you from firsthand experience, man. When my son came to me and was just like, "All right, Dad, I'm seeing some of the stuff you talked about now."
Yes,
You know
that's
what I'm
what
saying?
I'm waiting for. I'm waiting for those moments.
Yeah, like he was what, 19, almost 20, and he came to me and was like, "Dang, Dad, I really see it now. I'm really starting to see it now. Just some things that I always, preach to them, and the fact that they are finishing your sentences, which means that you are preaching the same sermon over and over again.
Right.
And so it's going to be ingrained in their head whether they like it or not.
Right.
And it's going to pop up when they need it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's the dope part to me, is that it pops up, when they need it. I think about my grandfather sometimes. He died in 2014. But, I think about him sometime. And some of the stuff that he said, it pops up when I need it.
Yeah.
And so that's the dope part. And the part that, it'll pop up and you won't even be around. You know what I'm saying? And it'll pop up in them. And it's just a wonderful thing. Now, speaking of, how important fathers are, and, the little things that we do, Like, what is your opinion on how LeBron rolled up on Stephen A. as a father?
Oh, man, okay, so I saw that, and I see where LeBron is coming from. He went directly to the person, to the source,
Okay.
on behalf of his son.
Okay.
Not that his son asked him to do that. We don't know
Yeah, of
that or not,
course.
but
Of
I'm
course
sure
he
he
didn't.
didn't.
Of course he didn't.
But LeBron felt a certain type of way about his cub. He's like, hey, nobody mess with my
Yeah.
with my cub here.
Yeah.
And so, and I see where Stephen A is coming from too. Like, he's doing his job,
Correct.
right? He's doing his job. But I like the sentiment. I like the sentiment.
So you think LeBron was justified in going up to him?
I don't think there's. Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, he can do what he want. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not saying
He
that.
can't do what he want. I'm not trying to hear that.
Well, I'm saying like we all have a free right to have free speech.
Yeah,
Right?
I see what you're saying, but I guess my question more lies in: do you feel like it was the right move to make as a father to roll up on him at a game? It was like this was
No.
during the third quarter.
No, I don't think it was. And I think because he's in the public eye, it sends a wrong message to the rest of the world, to the league. And honestly, I feel like it puts just another target on Bronny's back.
Exactly.
And
That's my thing. Like
Yeah,
I
so
feel
I don't-
like
I
Go ahead.
don't think he thought it through. I think he saw Stephen A. was emotional about everything that was said about Bronny from Stephen A. and was like, you know what, I'm gonna say it right now. I think he was just in the moment and didn't think things through completely. But I see where he was coming from. I think there's a time and a place.
Right. And it's like, it's weird because going back to this clip, it was talking about we want to see our sons go further than we ever did.
Right.
Right? Bronny's not going to go further than LeBron as far as basketball is concerned. He might go further than him in different things, maybe business, maybe whatever. But he's not going to go further than LeBron in basketball.
No, he's not.
It's just mathematically impossible, really. You know what I'm saying? Because Bronny's averaging 0.0 points, and he's 19, about to be 20, and LeBron was averaging 30 at 17, 18.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, like, he's not gonna pass LeBron on any stats scale. So I think that.
But do you think that by LeBron doing that, that was his way of showing Bronny that I love you by having his back? Like one of those ways, like going back to this clip.
Maybe, Bronny, he did that in front of everybody so Bronny could see it and Bronny could feel better about whatever he's not feeling good about. Because obviously we don't know the conversation that they have in their house
Right.
or anything like that. But, I saw Stephen A's side of the story, and I actually agree with Stephen A. Like, he didn't really say nothing about Bronny until he was in the league averaging 0.9 points and,
Right.
negative, and, like, he was just saying, like, Brian, like, don't do, like, you're creating this. You know what I'm saying? Like, we can't ignore the stats. That's all we talk about is stats.
Well, we can't ignore everything that transpired. It's not even just about the stats. It's about like how he even got to
To the
league.
league.
per
Yeah.
se.
And like, for me, and I think for anybody, any reasonable basketball fan or just father or anybody is just like, okay, he got there. Like, you pulled all the strings that you could to get your son there. Like, any of us would have done the same thing.
Yeah.
So I don't even care about that. Like, that's not even egregious to me. I think that that's wonderful. Like, I thought that was dope. And even like Stephen A said, like, yo, on the first night, You know what I'm saying? Father and son duo played in a basketball game that never happened before.
Yeah.
Like, that's amazing.
That's
Okay, cool.
absolutely amazing.
Now go to the G League and develop.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But he hasn't really been in the G League like that. He has, but not for real.
No, he's doing amazing in the G League.
Right, he's scoring like 30 in the G League,
Yeah.
but like they keep bringing him up, and then he's scoring like 0, and you know what I'm saying? He getting there in garbage time. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
and,
that's
and not
because
really.
they're only giving him garbage time. Like you can't. I mean, you got to get basketball is a game of rhythm too. Like, I mean, if you like, unless you meet,
Okay, I mean, all right. So is JJ Redick fault? Is JJ Redick fault then? I don't know. I don't know if it's JJ Redick fault more that
No,
I don't think he's NBA ready.
I don't think it's JJ Redick's fault. JJ Redick is trying to get him acclimated to playing up, right?
Right.
When he can. He's also trying to keep his job by winning games.
Right.
And you're not going to win games by just throwing Bronny to the wolves.
Yeah, I just think that he should have just won the G League MVP or won the championship in the G League and just been undeniable, right? Like once you get to a certain space, like you have to. Once you get in the building, you're at the bottom floor. Like, it's hard to get in the building, yes.
Yeah.
But once you get in the building, it's harder to climb up the steps of that building, right? To go from floor to floor in that building. And so he should have kept him instead of making him go up one flight of steps, then go back down to the basement, then go up one flight of steps, then go back. Like, he should have just stayed in the basement, stayed in the mail room.
Worked his way up.
Stayed in the mailroom and just became a star in the mailroom. You know what I'm saying? Like, he could have been a favorite in the mailroom. Like I said, he was scoring 30 points in the G League a couple times, right?
Yeah.
So, like, he should have just did that, won the MVP, you know what I'm saying? Won the championship or got them to the championship, been undeniable, right? Then nobody would have anything to say.
Yeah. I mean,
I guess everybody's going to have something to say because he's Bronny, but
I don't know if he would have won MVP or won a championship. I think he would have shined a lot more there than not really being seen. And we don't know. Maybe a lot of it has to do with marketing. I mean,
what you mean?
Like having him play with the Lakers, a few games here and there. Like people want to see that. That brings people out. That brings ratings, TV rating. I mean, we don't know. We don't know. I mean, let's look.
I mean, they already got Luka Doncic and LeBron James, bro.
Yes,
like, how much more eyes you want?
But I'm saying, look at money. It's all about money.
Yeah, I get it. It's all about
jersey sales. His jersey sales skyrocketed when he first got drafted. Mm-hmm. So it's like a lot of it could be money. We don't know.
But I'm purely talking about basketball and fatherhood, right? Like, because like Stephen A said, like, he a father too, so he understood that Brian was coming at him as a father.
Right.
But as we were saying, like, you want your son to go further and faster and reach new heights that you maybe haven't reached. And we know as far as NBA basketball, right? Bronny's most likely not going to surpass Bron in any of those categories, right? Yeah. Championships, MVPs, most points, like all that.
Most people will not.
Right. Right. Like okay. So which is fine. You know what I'm saying? Like that's okay. But also, I feel like he's doing his son a disservice by, not by one confronting Stephen A like that, and then two, like, bro, just send Brody to the G League. Like, let my man cook in the G League. Mm-hmm. Like, I don't know what else to say.
Yeah,
because it just looks bad, and the more he plays in the league, like that, those are his averages. So he gonna have those averages. You know what I'm saying?
You gonna have to bring him up?
Yeah, like that's gonna be on his first year stats, is that he had 0.9 points. You know what I'm saying? 0.3 rebounds, and you know what I'm saying? Like, that's gonna be on his stat sheet.
So it's definitely LeBron was definitely showing Bronny love in that instance outwardly, not in the quiet things like this clip said, but outwardly for everyone to see. Was it the right thing? Is what we're discussing. But we don't know. Only time. Only time.
Yeah,
Only time will tell. Now.
right or wrong is, was it the right thing? I mean, that's a judgment call.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's a judgment call. Obviously, he's a father, man. I'm a father too, so I guess I would feel some type of way if they was talking bad about my son in the press or whatever, and I might say something as well. But it's a little bit weird, to say the least, that a lot of this stuff has been self-inflicted.
Right. But hopefully, LeBron, he has another son up and coming, and hopefully he can learn
Yeah.
from, this first round.
Right.
So
Now,
Bryce will be an NBA player.
yeah. Now Bryce, he might do some things.
Yeah. Yeah. He will surpass Bronny.
Yeah, he might do some things, and hopefully he's not trying to go to the Lakers. That would be whack. If the starting lineup was Bronny, Bryce, and Brian, that's crazy. And then Austin Reeves and Luca,
Hey. Don't.
that would be wild,
It would be wild. It would be crazy. It would be
unprecedented.
It would be the first and last of that to happen if that were to ever happen.
Yeah, of course.
And the crazy thing is, it
could happen. Of course, it could happen. Of course, it could happen. Like, and if it does, like, I'm not gonna be a hater, man. Like, I'm not. I'm a father, man. So I'm definitely not a hater on Brian. Like, he's definitely not my favorite player, but as far as what he's done as a father, like, if he never did anything else, he got his son to the league and playing on the same team as him. Like, not too many. There's no other father that could say that. You know what I'm saying? Like, Doc Rivers got his son on the team, and but that was he was coaching.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? We've seen that before. But to be a player and have your son
on the same team.
Last
time we saw that was the Griffey.
Oh yeah,
King
Can't.
Griffey,
Yeah, they
Griffey
was like
Jr.
they was in attendance that game too. On the first game of the night.
Yeah, to see LeBron and Bronny. That was dope.
Yeah, that was a dope situation, man. So I can't even be mad. I'm not hating on that. And if he does it twice, that's gonna set him in another stratosphere.
Yeah.
We're gonna be talking about this, forever. Really. Nobody else got that.
So going back to this clip, other than the lectures that we mentioned, what are some other things? It talks about the sacrifices, the boundaries that we set, right?
Yeah.
I think one of the biggest things that hang in the balance with my children and I are the boundaries that I set. I think they feel that I'm a little bit too strict.
Good.
Not my words, my daughter's words, right? You're too strict.
Good.
But there's a reason why I set those boundaries.
Of course.
And it's to help them, not to hinder them.
Of course.
Not to keep them from having fun. And these are conversations that I have with them on the regular. Because they're always asking, like, can I do this? Can I go here? Can I go? Especially my son, now that he's getting older and he's wanting to hang out with his friends and have more of a social life. Like, there are some times where I'll look at the situation and be like, okay, yeah. And really and truly, like, I want to see how he's gonna, like, how is he going to behave when I'm not there? And I want to see. And then we go back to the drawing board and we evaluate. Like, oh, so how was your time? And just like this past week, I let him go to this jumping place with his friends. And then he comes back with a story of how two of his friends got in a fight with this other kid. And I literally got there and called him to come outside because I was there. He was like, man, like, you're like, that kid is lucky you called me because I was about to jump. I'm like, what are you talking about? I'm like, so this is what you guys do at the
At the
jumping
at the
place?
trampoline
Yeah, the
park.
trampoline park. This
That's
is what
why.
you guys do.
That's
I'm
why
like,
they beating up people. They got
so
a gang.
so
Your
this
son
is
in the gang, son.
so
Your son in the gang.
this is why I don't let you go anywhere. This is why I set these boundaries. So stuff like that. So it's like, yo, like, what are you thinking? So
Yeah.
now the next time you ask me to go, you think I'm gonna let you go?
Well, yeah.
Nah, because he asked
But
me already.
he was honest with you, Dad.
Yeah.
He was honest with you.
I mean, that's good. I want to, but what I want him to do is think about his actions,
Right.
and his thought process. Like, he didn't do it, but he thought about it.
Right.
What I want you to think about is like,
This is probably not the best.
it's not the best thing for me to do.
Right.
Maybe I should go try and break it up rather than
Try to jump in.
jump in.
Right. Well,
You know what I
last
mean?
time he just filmed it.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
still got in trouble.
Yeah.
So he's like,
So
man, I might
if
as
you're
well
not
join
filming
now.
it, then you want to jump in. I'm like, what? Like, whose kid are you?
Yours. Yeah,
It's
I mean,
crazy. It really is, man.
It is, but boundaries are you can't have freedom without boundaries, and for whatever reason, people seem to forget that, right? Like they think that they are super free, but then they get in a car and follow all these rules.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, we can only be as free as we are because we have these rules and because we have these boundaries. Like I said, just something simple as red light, green light.
Yeah.
Like, these are all rules. They're the rules of the road. That's how we're able to drive around and go wherever we wanted to go because we have the rules.
Right.
And it's the same in society. It's the same in parenting, and a lot of parents don't give their kids rules, you know what I'm saying, or let them make their own rules, which is weird, they need discipline, especially boys. Boys need those guardrails.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Like, they can't go bowling without the guardrails up. You know what I'm saying? Like,
we're risk takers.
yes, we are.
Yeah.
We're 100% risk takers. We want to see how far we can push the envelope.
Yeah.
And so we need those boundaries. You need somebody to tell you no. You're not gonna like it in the moment, which is fine. Nobody likes discipline in the moment, right? But just like nobody likes those cop cars that hop on the freeway and then start zigging and zagging and slow down everybody.
I can't stand that.
Can't stand it.
That's the worst thing
Can't
ever.
stand it. But the whole point of them doing that is because there's something up ahead that if you're going full speed, you're going to cause a 32 car pileup.
Is that the reason why they do it? I never understood why they did that.
Yeah, that's why that's not why all the time, but that's the main reason why they do that is because something happened 2 exits away and they need to slow everybody down so that
Man.
people can get off of the freeway, so that the ambulance can take the person off of the freeway. They can tow the car off of the freeway, all that kind of stuff. That's why 9 times out of 10 you don't see nothing when you get there. That's because they already came and they towed the person off, towed the car away, took the person out in the ambulance, all that kind of stuff. Like, if something happens in the middle
I
of
was legit about to say, like, I don't never see anything.
Yeah,
up
you're not
ahead.
supposed. That's the whole point. You're not supposed, and that's a great example. Like, that's the whole point of discipline, is so that you don't see the issues.
Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying? Like,
don't have to go through
so
the
you
pain.
don't have to go through the pain.
Yeah.
Through the actual real danger. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the whole point of discipline. Like, you just explained it right there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, because I really don't.
And you don't see
never
it.
seen
You don't see it. You know what I'm saying? But it's the same thing with God. Like, when God tells us not to do something, or not to go to this place or that place or whatever, we never like it in the moment.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Or He puts us through something crazy, or allows something crazy for us to go through. We don't like it in the moment. It's painful. It's traumatic. Whatever. But 9 times out of 10. Really 10 times out of 10, there's something on the other side that we are not seeing.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
That He's saving us from.
That He's saving us from.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And that's exactly what discipline does. It saves us from ourselves.
Yep.
Because like you said, we are risk takers. Our flesh is suicidal.
We experience grace every day and don't even know it.
Don't even know it. Don't even know it.
Have no clue. We just, man,
Yeah, he shows love. He shows grace every day. Like, for real. And
that's just, and really and truly, that's what this clip is saying too. Like, with the love, so that's God's love for us, right?
Yeah.
Showing us that grace and mercy every day, right?
every day.
And
Things
this clip is saying, like, we as fathers show our kids love silently. We don't necessarily say I love you out loud, but we show our kids love through all these different things that they may not even know or realize.
That they might not even realize that we're doing. And it's okay. They don't need to realize what we're doing.
The long hours of work, the sacrifices that we make, the time spent.
Yeah. Like, they don't know what we had to do to get those Christmas presents.
Yeah, man.
And they don't care. You know what I'm saying? And they don't care. And that's okay. You know what I'm saying? Because that's our burden to bear. One day, you know, they'll have that burden to bear. You know what I'm saying? We all it's a cycle. So we all have those burdens to bear at different times in our life.
Yeah.
And it's cool when we don't have to care about it. You know what I'm saying? When we're the lowest person on the totem pole and we don't gotta care about it, you know, but you know, our parents did it for us, you know, whatever sacrifices they made, and, you know, we do it for them. And, you know, prayerfully, they do it for their kids when they get, you know, to that age.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, you know, we all have our time in the sun. We all have our time to chill, relax. We all have our time to sacrifice, you know? So it just is what it is. But, you know, removing discipline is a recipe for disaster.
Yeah.
You know, it's a recipe for disaster. So, but yeah, man, I like that little clip, man. Like I said, I'm sending that to my son right away. So as he know, hey, even though you didn't see it, even though you didn't hear it, even though, and I think, like I said, I think that a lot of older generation pops and fathers, they didn't say I love you a lot. You know what I'm saying? Because it wasn't cool.
Right.
Probably because their dad didn't do it or whatever. But I think this generation, our generation, says I love you a lot more.
Oh, yeah, for sure. I tell the kids that I love them all the time. All the time.
Yeah, I try to give them those.
Physical touch. Like, you know, telling them we love them with our words, showing them with our actions.
Yeah. I try to get them. You know, I try to send them little texts. You know, let them know I'm proud of them. I'm happy for them. You know, just give them those words of affirmation.
Yeah,
you know
absolutely.
What I'm saying? You know, you know better, you do better. You know.
Yeah.
That's it. Yeah, man. You have any last words you want to say?
No, just if you're a father out there, there's so many different ways you can let your child know that you love them. And just, you know, hopefully you leave this episode feeling more equipped with the different ways in which you can express love to them. It doesn't have to be just through words. It could be through your actions. It could be through the silence and the things that you do, the sacrifices that you make.
Or not do.
Yeah, or not.
Or not let them do.
Yeah, setting boundaries, the lectures, like all that. We all want the best for our children. And so all we can do is our best as fathers.
Indeed. I like that. All we can do is our best as fathers. So this is Fathers Handling Business. I'm Cali, that's Donté. We appreciate y'all listening. We're going to catch y'all on the next one.
Peace.
Thanks for tuning in to today's episode. We hope you found our discussion enlightening and empowering as you navigate the rewarding journey of fatherhood. Don't forget to follow us on socials, join the conversation, and share your own experiences. We're here to support and inspire each other, one episode at a time. Until next time, keep empowering the dad in you.